Honor killings are a real scourge on the Muslim community. In our last video, we covered an Iraqi father that tried to honor kill his daughter in the US but got stopped by Good Samaritans. This time, we're going back to Iraq to talk about another honor killing. We're going to cover Tara Faris, a social media star that was shot in broad daylight. In a chilling, almost prophetic social media post she made before she was killed, she said, "I'm not afraid of the one who denies the existence of God, but I'm really afraid of the one who kills and chops off heads to prove the existence of God." We're going to go over the timeline of Tara Faris' life and death, as well as dive into why this is happening to women both in Iraq and in the United States. Is there a fear of women becoming too westernized, having autonomy over how they live their lives and present themselves to the world? What about women who express any opposition to oppressive Islamic law? What does Islam say about this? Does Islam allow change for women to make their own choices for their body and life? Or is Islam very repressive and restrictive, only allowing women to exist in a vacuum of Islamic dogma? You know the answer. Let's get into it.
Tara Faris was born January 10, 1996 in Baghdad, Iraq. She was a model, beauty blogger, and Instagram star. At the time of her death, she acquired 2.8 million followers on Instagram and 120,000 subscribers to her YouTube channel. Tara's father was a Christian, and her mother was a Lebanese Shiite. In 2002, both parents had converted to Islam. When Tara was just 16 years old, she was forced to marry and gave birth to her first and only child, a son. Tara spoke openly about how violent her husband was, often beating her up. When they divorced, he posted intimate photos of her on social media and even took her son away from her. Tara was also a beauty queen, being voted as the Beauty Queen of Baghdad in 2013. She went on to compete in Miss Iraq, where she was a runner-up. A day before her murder, Tara was voted one of Iraq's most followed social media stars. At the time of her death, Tara was just 22 years old. She died September 27, 2018. Tara was not a woman that adhered to strict modesty rules, both in the way she dressed as well as the way she spoke. She dressed in a way that would be considered scandalous in Iraqi culture, wearing shorts, fake eyelashes, elaborate makeup, and even showing off her tattoos. In Islam, women are supposed to be modest. There is a concept of tabarruj, which refers to the way a woman dresses and even her attitude. Committing tabarruj means that a woman will deliberately dress or act in a way that garners attention. In the Quran, in Surah Al-Azab, Allah tells the believing women to stay in their homes and not display themselves. In Islam, women are not supposed to draw attention to themselves. That is why you will see some women go as far as wearing gloves and a niqab, completely concealing every inch of their body. Muslim women will often bully one another, policing those who they do not see as modest enough. Tara Faris, because of the way she looked, was often the subject of hate and abuse online. Even when she died, Muslims took to social media to call her a whore. Many Iraqi models wouldn't dare wear a t-shirt that revealed their shoulders, something that is not problematic in other parts of the world. For Tara, however, she did not care. She wore what she wanted. In Sahih Muslim, the women of hell are described as clothed yet naked. They will not enter paradise, nor smell its fragrance. This is a common example Muslims will use to degrade and police other women for the way they dress. This could be someone like Tara, who does not dress modestly at all, or even a Muslim woman that covers, but not quite enough per Islamic standards. For example, a Muslim woman who wears wide leg pants and an oversized sweater with a hijab. This could be seen as clothed yet naked. Basically, if you add a hijab to any style of Western clothing, this falls under the category of clothed yet naked. Say I wore jeans and a sweater and simply added a hijab. That would be considered clothed yet naked. Dressing like this means that you are not covered enough. The clothes you are supposed to wear should be loose and not show the shape of the body. In regards to her speech, Tara often utilized her social media platforms to speak her thoughts on religion, tribal, and political leaders. On one occasion, she spoke out about a man that sought a temporary marriage with her. In another Instagram post, Tara said this: "I'm not afraid of the one who denies the existence of God, but I'm really afraid of the one who kills and chops off heads to prove the existence of God." That is a pretty bold statement for a woman to make, especially in a place like Iraq. Now, at the time of her death, Tara was living in Erbil, the northern Kurdistan region of Iraq. In the last few years of Tara's life, she was becoming increasingly outspoken about individual liberties. Erbil is known to be safer, especially for Christians and in terms of security threats. However, at the time of her death, Tara was known to be traveling to Baghdad more frequently. This would become one of the biggest mistakes of her life. If you like this content, I'm going to be covering more cases like this, as well as women's issues in Islam. Hit the subscribe button, and if you would like to join our community, join us on Patreon or YouTube membership.
On the day of her murder, Tara was driving her Porsche Boxster in broad daylight through Camp Sarah district in Baghdad when a man rushed towards the driver's seat of her car. Tara's car can be seen slowing down. The man leans in, then shoots her. The shooter then takes off and runs towards a motorbike that is being driven by another man, his getaway car. For someone to shoot a person not one but 3 times, that's a sign of anger and rage. Clearly, this person was very angry at Tara and wanted to let her know it. When she was shot, Tara was in the driver's seat, dying from gunshot wounds to the head, neck, and chest. She was rushed to Sheikh Zayed Hospital, which was only 2.5 miles from the crime scene. When Tara arrived at the hospital, she was already dead.
Tara was just the beginning, the first of many. Tara might have seemed like an isolated incident. Maybe she was targeted simply because she was beautiful, famous, and outspoken compared to other Iraqi women. However, it did not end with Tara. Within 2 months, 2 other Iraqi women were murdered. Tara was not the only Iraqi woman who was hated for deviating from Islamic norms and wearing the hijab. Dr. Rafif al-Yassiri worked at the Baghdad Barbie Clinic, where she not only offered plastic surgery services, but also helped women who had suffered injuries. She died on August 16, 2018. Another woman, Rasha Hassan, ran a beauty salon. She mysteriously died at her home exactly 1 week after the death of Dr. Rafif al-Yassiri. All of the murders coincidentally took place on a Thursday afternoon. The Interior Ministry in Iraq stated that Rafif died from a drug overdose, while Rasha had heart failure. Both women were in their 30s when they died. These deaths were not random. They were connected. Both these deaths were unnatural and should have been investigated, but the possibility of foul play was simply ignored. This is what you get being a woman who was honor killed in a Muslim country. No dignity of investigation, no real persecution, and you live with this fear of knowing that if something happens to you, the police will not want to figure it out because you were the bad one. It's clear that Iraqi society and Muslim culture resents women that are untraditional. Women who live life outside of traditional Islamic norms are not going to be accepted. Deaths like Tara, Rafif, and Rasha serve as an example to other women that choose to live their life freely.
Tara Ferris's murder shows us that Islamic societies don't value women. Their freedom is secondary. Their place is to be silent and hidden. If they dare to speak up or live freely, they will be silenced by violent men. Was it fear of westernization, or simply the belief that a woman's body and choices are not her own? Islamic gender roles leave little room for defiance, and Tara paid the price for rejecting them. But fear won't erase the desire for freedom. We'll keep pushing back, and we will remember Tara, Rafif, and Rasha. Each of their deaths will not be forgotten and will inspire thousands more to make a change and take back the power that women have been robbed of in Muslim societies. If you enjoyed this video, you'll definitely want to watch the video about honor killing in America, which I will link now. Thank you to our patrons for your continued love and support. Because of you, we are able to do this work, and in 2025, we want to make the channel bigger than ever. Please consider joining us on Patreon or YouTube membership to help the cause. This is your friendly ex-Muslim and wifey signing out.